Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Brandon Freeze here and DJ York with Home Remedy USA Roofing, Gutters, and Windows. And this is our myth-busting edition, if you will. And we're going to try to answer some questions today that about some misconceptions that people have about the roofing industry. And I hope it'll help give you some clarification, maybe an education on your roof. DJ, what do you got for us?
All right, so a common myth for roofing, if it's true or false, roof lasts forever without maintenance.
That is false. Nothing in life lasts forever without maintenance. If you buy a brand new car and park it in the driveway and never touch it, that car will begin to break down and disintegrate and fall apart. But for some reason, people understand stuff like that. But with construction materials, specifically roofing, people seem to think that I've got the roof on there, and if I just leave it alone, it'll last forever. And that's just not true. Weather conditions, obviously the sun, elements, the type of house you have, the type of roof that you have, all depend on how much maintenance a roof may or may not require. So that's definitely false.
Gotcha. All right. Number 2, all shingles are the same. There's so many shingle companies out there. I mean, how do you know which one to go to, which one is the right one, and how do you even compare them?
That's a good question. There are a ton of brands of shingles, and there's a lot of real good brands, not too many bad brands, but they're definitely not all the same. So that's also a false statement. Lots of shingles have different weight. Lots of shingles have different lengths, different thicknesses, different amounts of shingles per bundle. So that depends on how many you get for the money. Lots of shingles have different design and I guess build or whatever you call it. When you make them at the factory, architecture might be the word, that determine how long they last. There are builder grade, shingles, DJ, that are kind of made to be real cheap. Get it on the house, it does the job for a while, but it's not going to last you a long time.
Right.
And then there's certain shingles that are designed to last for 50 years. They have special things about them that make them last longer. Some shingles have a lot like our GAF. Timberline HTZ has a gold, copper flake in the granule that helps prevent like blue algae and stuff from forming. So it all depends on the shingle, but it's definitely false to say that all shingles are the same and that the brand doesn't matter. And one thing that determines a big factor in how long a shingle will last is the system beneath it. What shape is your wood decking in? Are you using the proper underlayment, the proper starter shingle, ice and water, all those things.
Right.
And then another thing that's a huge factor on how long your shingle's going to last is the guys putting it on, right?
Right.
Do they know what they're doing? Are they doing a good job? Is it being installed per manufacturer's specifications? So that is definitely false.
I think we even did a video showing, I think it was Titan XT, where we showed how it lasted with what was that? A nail pull test, I think it was?
Right, that was the nail pull test for the Tamco Titan XT. And what it is that there's a strip woven into the shingle, not glued to the back, like a lot of them, that allows that shingle to have that high wind rated warranty. And again, it's all about how the shingle's built at the factory, how it's constructed, that makes it a better or not so good shingle.
Right. All righty. So that one is false. Myth number 3, leaks always mean you need a new roof.
I wish it was true, but it's not. It's not. You do not always have to replace your entire roof when you have a leak. That being said, there's a lot of roofers who just won't fix your roof if it has a leak unless you do the whole roof. Be very careful choosing a contractor like that. A contractor that doesn't know how to repair the shingles he installs, in my opinion, is not a true roofer. I don't care if it's asphalt shingles. I don't care if it's TPO, EPDM membrane. There are ways to repair certain things. There's a time and a place for repairs when a repair will work and can be warranted, such as you can through our company. And then sometimes all you're doing is put a Band-Aid on a big problem. We try to make a good habit of telling our customers, hey, you can spend this money and maybe buy yourself 6 months, but you're going to be spending money again down the road. And lots of times we'll walk away from that. There's a lot of times where we'll get a customer who calls in and they said, the guy says, I got to have a new roof. And sometimes he just needs a new chimney flashing. Sometimes he just needs a new pipe boots. And we're able to go in and save them a ton of money by just making a repair.
Right.
So as far as your question, that's also false. Wow, 3 falses in a row. You can sometimes in a certain situation make a good quality repair.
Right. I think I was gonna say something about that, but I think you got these other companies too that just come in there and they'll just try to get that sale automatically. And they don't care. They won't care if you just need a small patch replaced. They just want to get the whole roof for sale. But here at Homeowners USA, we don't do that.
That's right. It's not about, our guys know, it's not about I need to make a big commission off a big number. It's about addressing what does my client need.
Right.
Do they really just need a repair? It's dishonest to tell someone you need a whole roof when you know good and well I can repair this and save this client money. Sometimes though, a customer's like, I want my roof taken care of for the long haul. And sometimes if the roof is old enough or wore out enough, it might merit to go ahead and put a whole roof on.
Right.
But a good, informed roofer or estimator will be able to tell you the difference and even give you the options and let you decide sometimes.
Yeah, I remember when I called you and I was looking at the position to be a salesman before I was the marketing director. You asked me one question. You said, what is the main key to being a good salesman? And I said, to care about your customers. And he was like, that was the main thing.
Yeah, if you don't care about people and what they really need and how they really feel, then you don't need to be in this business, because we already have a ton of scum and scammy guys doing this. Yes, we're all in to make money, but we're supposed to be providing a service for our clients.
Right, in our community. All right, the next myth, so that's 3 falses in a row. Number 4, a roof can be installed over any old roof. So I guess that means a multiple layer roof, you don't rip it off? Or...
Right, so that's neither true nor false, because it does depend, of course, on the state you're in, what codes you go by. But in the state of North Carolina where we operate, you can do a second layer, you can do 2 layers. At Home Remedy USA, we won't do that. Usually when someone's just trying to put another layer on a roof, they're kind of going the cheapest route possible. That will buy you some time. But the problem with that is if I have a roof that's leaking and I've got rotting wood decking underneath there and I just put more shingles on top of it, the rotting process has already started. It's not going to stop. It will be slowed down, but it's not going to stop.
Right.
I like to use the example, if you take a sock and soak it full of water and wring it out and you put it in a Ziploc bag and seal it for sure airtight. And then you set that thing in a drawer for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When you go and pull that out, it's going to still have dampness to it because
Right.
It's got no way to escape. Sometimes, not always, that's the same case on a roof. When you cover up a rotting area, you're covering a problem, not addressing the problem. So in order for us to provide a warranty, number one, a manufacturer won't let you do that and offer a manufacturer's warranty. And at Home Remedy USA, we just don't do that, because whenever we want to take care of a client, we want you handled, taken care of. We want you to not worry about that problem again. So can you do it legally? Yes, I think up to two layers. Do I recommend it? No. And should you do 3 and 4 layers? Absolutely not. There's a whole thing about weight and payload on how much weight your roof trusses can actually handle.
Right.
And there's some contractors, guys, who just don't care if your roof collapses. They don't care if your roof's in bad shape. They're going to put the stuff on there, take your money, and then hopefully you don't call them whenever the sky falls in one day when you get too much snow.
Gotcha. Okay. Number 5, and this is my favorite one to ask. Metal roofs attract lightning.
I will not say that they can't, but as a general rule, they do not. Anything can be struck by lightning, right? And obviously, if you have a 50-foot TV antenna on top of your metal house, the chances of that being stuck have gone way, way higher.
Right.
We're kind of getting away from the days where people have TV antennas anymore. And as a matter of fact, on lots of roofs and homes we do, they have a lightning rod system. So if lightning is attracted to the house, it'll strike those copper rods instead of striking a roof and doing damage. So can it? Yes. Because it's metal, will it cause my house to be struck by lightning? Generally, the answer is no to that.
Gotcha. All right. And a little quick add-on. What do you like more, metal roofs or shingles?
I think it depends on the structure of the home. If you're going rustic, excuse me, if you're going rustic and it's a log home, sometimes I like metal. I love a shingle roof because I like to be able to get on it. I don't like walking on metal sometimes, kind of slick. I think that completely depends on the style of the home. I think some homes are gorgeous with metal. We do metal and shingle both. And I think sometimes a shingle roof is a better fit.
I agree. We were at that metal roof today, and I was not happy to be on it at all.
It can definitely be more challenging to walk on.
A do-it-yourself roof. So what was that? True or false? Or
that's kind of a maybe. It's false that a metal roof automatically attracts lightning. It's true that anything can be struck by lightning. So I'm going to give that a false.
okay, I think
it's
that's
more
fair.
false than it is true.
All right, and I think that one's my favorite one because I think it's one that made more sense. You know what I mean? The other ones I feel like are kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Myth number 6: do-it-yourself repairs save money.
Well, it depends if you're a roofer. If I ask myself that question, can I fix my roof cheaper? 100% I can, but that's because I do it all the time. Sometimes people try to do things themselves for budget reasons, and I get that. Everyone has a budget to live by, but getting on top of your roof with a can of Flex Seal isn't always going to help you. And lots of guys like to do that. That might temporarily solve your problem. And I'm all for the guys like, man, I can do this myself. Good. I hope you can. Anytime you can save yourself money, I think you're a smart person.
Right.
But lots of times customers try to do that, and unfortunately, it's just delaying the inevitable. So is this false or true? It just depends on the person. If you are a construction person, you know and understand how a roof system goes together, absolutely you could do it yourself. If you're not, then you absolutely could not do it and be successful, I believe.
I agree too. All right, the last one, which I think is the biggest one, and I think it's a big question that everybody wants to know. Insurance will always cover roof damage.
Of course. No, that's absolutely false. Unfortunately, in our industry, insurance is a necessary evil, and we're thankful that insurance is there to help us when we need it. But unfortunately, roofers are the world's worst guys to say, yes, it's covered, yes, it's covered, yes, it's covered. At the end of the day, a homeowner, every single roof is different whether their insurance will cover it or not.
Right.
Number one, it depends not just on the insurance company. It depends on the customer's specific policy. Depends on the state you're in. It depends on the codes of your state for the roofing code. And it also depends on what caused the damage. If you have legitimate hail damage, yes, insurance can and should most likely, if your policy is read as such, take care of repairing your roof. People get the misconception that insurance is a free, free roof every time. And customers have that because of roofers who tell them that. All you gotta do is pay your deductible and your roof is covered. And unfortunately, that's just not true. And most homeowners are smart enough to understand that. Just be very careful if you're getting a new roof or getting a quote, that you do it for more than just one person, and be very careful turning over your insurance policy information to the first roofer that comes along. Just make sure you talk to someone who's very, very well educated, and make sure they're going to bat for you and they're doing what's best for you, the homeowner, not what's best for them as the roofer. So no, the answer is definitely no. Insurance will not always cover your roof. And I can't even tell you, is it half, is it 40%? It depends on the roof, it depends on the storm, it depends on the age of your shingles, it depends on your policy. There's just a ton of factors that determine whether or not a insurance will cover your roof.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think that was all of our myths. But Brandon, what is something that you would, some advice to give to somebody that's looking for a new roof, somebody that's looking to have something done with the roof, anything? How do they pick the right roofing company?
Well, I think it's kind of simple. For some people, it's intimidating. Number one, I always encourage buying local. Lots of roofing companies will be in 3 towns away or 3 counties away, and they may legitimately serve your area. But if you ever had to go back with them with a service issue or warranty issue, you may have a hard time locating them. Secondly, I would find someone who has a brick and mortar location. There's nothing wrong with a contractor getting started, operating out of their truck. We've all been there to start somewhere, but just be real careful with that. I would make sure I hired a roofer who could show me a current updated copy of their certificate of insurance, so you, the homeowner, are protected when they get on your roof. Man, this cough won't go away this year. I would also check out their online credentials. Sometimes those are good, sometimes those are bad, sometimes they're fake, sometimes they're real. Do your research on that. At Home Remedy USA, we're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We have over 150 5-star or so reviews online. We were voted in 2025 best roofing company, best gutter company, and best window company in Burke County. So I'm pretty proud of that. And but there's lots of other good companies out there for sure. But just make sure it's someone that you can go and look them in the eye when you have an issue, when you have a problem. Make sure it's someone that you're comfortable with, and make sure it's someone you feel like you can trust. You got to do your homework. You got to do your homework. I hate pushiness. I don't think you should. I would buy from anyone who tried to cram it down my throat. I don't believe in pushy salesmanship. I believe in going to a customer's home and giving them an education, telling them about the roof, what to expect, what should the process look like, and what should the end result be. That's what I would do if I was looking for any type of contractor, actually, but in roofing specifically. Just because they have a ladder in their truck and a magnet sign on their door doesn't mean that they're a trained professional. And I'm not slamming the guys who have those. We all started that way, but just make sure that you're dealing with someone who is well versed, and be careful with hiring someone who might be a contractor, but they have their installers are not responsible. Just be very careful with the fine print. Look at the fine print. Be careful who you hire.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this video. I think we've hit all the myths and whatnot. We want to say thank y'all for watching. We really do appreciate it. Check out our other videos. And I think I mentioned one, the Titan XT, Tamco Titan XT pool test. That's a really good video. It shows you how strong that shingle is and all the benefits to it. And it was also really fun to record that and do it. So check us out. Please like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any questions, ask us. We'll be happy to put a video together and do a Q&A.
Yeah, guys, drop some comments in the comment section there if there's something you'd like to know about, something you'd like to hear about in the roofing, gutter, window industry that you're curious about. We'll put together a video for you. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you found this informative, or if there's other topics you'd like for us to cover with you guys, please feel free to leave a message in the comments. But please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And thanks for watching. See you next time.